Hey there and welcome to my channel. This is Foggy Fiction and I am Haley. I'm a writer living with mental illness and today is the first day of NaNoWriMo. I know that normally I post a list type video on Sundays, but with today being what it is, it only felt right to change things up. So if you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it stands for National Novel Writing Month. It's basically where writers from all over the world spend the month of November writing with the goal to get 50,000 words, which is essentially first draft, written by the end of the month. While I have been a NaNoWriMo participant since 2016, last year was the first time I stuck with it. I didn't win Nano last November, but I did write every single day. And I also managed to get a large chunk written in the draft that I just finished first round revisions on 2 days ago. I also did participate in one of the two, though I intended to do both, Camp Nanos this year, which I won. Camp Nano works exactly the same except you are allowed to set whatever word count goal you want. Which means if you're editing or revising or something of that nature as opposed to writing a full draft, you have a chance of winning. Another thing to mention about all the times that I have participated in Nano in the past, I have never once started Nano with a fresh idea. I've always gone in with something that I was already a few chapters into writing. There's nothing that says you can't do that, but you are always encouraged, especially in November, to start fresh with an idea that you haven't put any words into yet. So this will be the first time that I'm doing NaNoWriMo with a fresh idea. I'm not even as prepared as I want to be. Mostly because I spent all of last month finishing revisions on my last draft, so that I could send it out to betas today. But that's another story. So, first day of NaNoWriMo, fresh story, new goals and stuff. Let's talk about those things. First things first, what is my story about? I'm usually pretty tight-lipped when it comes to what I'm writing about. I am insanely protective of my work, and terrified of having it stolen. With that said, I'm actually going to talk a little more about what I'm writing this time. This project, which I call WIP-AR, is about a young woman named Tate who finds her relationship turning abusive. They say write what you know, though that's really its own debate. And unfortunately, I do know what it's like to be in an abusive and controlling relationship. Not currently, don't worry, that was many years ago. This is not a story that talks about physical abuse either. I know firsthand how damaging mental, emotional, and verbal abuse can be, and how some people view it compared to physical abuse. So for me, I thought it was important that when I write the story about an abusive relationship, that it doesn't involve a man who hits her. Because sometimes they don't, and the abuse is still abuse. This is going to be another incredibly difficult story for me to write, considering how close the subject matter is to me, to my heart. But thankfully, this time, I'm going into it with a more structured outline, not to mention a new style of plotting and outlining in general. Now, my goals for the month. Obviously, I'm wanting to win Nano for the first time. I want to reach 50,000 words written and be close to having a completed draft at the end of the month. I have had a mountain of stress on my plate over the last month, and big changes are happening in my life right now. Good changes, but things that are still giving me stress as I'm waiting for it all to fall into place. I can't wait to talk about these big changes, but I'm keeping my lips sealed for now. I've also been doing a weekly poetry challenge that I'll be putting on hold until after Nano. You'll still get tomorrow's video, don't worry. But that's just to ease some of this stress. That was a very hard decision to make, but one that I think was right for me. Working with all of that the best that I can, I'm hoping to at least hit Nano's recommended daily word count goal, which is roughly 1,667 words per day. We'll see. Whether or not I'm able to hit that daily word count goal, it is important for me that I write every single day. At least something. 1 word? Cool. 1,000 words? Awesome. So long as something gets written. Either way, I am so excited and a little nervous to dive in and get started. Let me know in the comments if you're doing Nano this year and any goals that you might have. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're interested in watching my very clumsy journey as a writer living with mental illness. Enjoy the happy moments.